up, party people? Welcome to Geared Up. This is our live broadcast where we talk about gear, from lighting breakdowns, new product launches, taking questions, having fun, talking about all things lighting. Today, we get to talk about a new launch. Yesterday, we dropped the all-new Profoto B20 and B30, which I have right here. Subsequently, hold on, let me move them over. Really nice updates to the B10 lineup. They're really great lights. We have some cool improvements, some things we learned over time with the B10X. I think if you're not, you're trying to evolve with these things, you get left in the dust. And the B10 was this awesome little light that we introduced to try to keep your flash head the size and shape of a camera lens. We wanted it to be something that was easy for you to throw into your bag and have with you all the time, but have enough power to give you incredible results in pretty much any lighting situation. And the B10 was really successful in that. And again, there's some things that we did awesome. There's some things that we learned from and improved on. And I think we did a jam-up job implementing those into the B20 and the B30. Now, the naming, we went to try to unify the lineup with stuff so things make a little bit more sense. So like if you're talking from the D series, for example, here, I'll just pull this up. I'm gonna be right back over there. So talking about for the D series, for example, inside this lineup, we have the D30 and the B30. So these two make sense now. So you know that the B stands for your battery, D in our series stands for digital, but the D series is a plug-in unit. So the two units, they make sense together, 500 watts, 500 watts. The B just means battery, so you can kind of remember that stuff. So both 500 watt seconds units. Getting back to light output, the B20 is the 250 watt variant of this light. And instead of, again, going with the B20 and B20 Plus, we went with the B30 to, again, make sure that the D30 and the B30 make sense together. They're almost essentially the exact same light, but just this one has a battery on the side of it and no AC plug, whereas that one has no battery on the side of it, but an AC plug. Cool. So again, new unified naming, same power outputs, 250 watt seconds and 500 watt seconds. Next cool thing, battery is the same. So if you can take advantage of the improvements on this light, and this is the direction that you want to go, but you already have a whole bunch of B10 batteries, fear not, my friends, because those batteries clip right onto this bad boy and you're ready to rock and roll. So if you have a ton of spare batteries and you're just looking to upgrade to some of the newer features of these lights, you're set. So cool. We talked about power. We talked about the battery. Let's talk about the outside of the unit itself. Let's talk about the housing. So one of the nice things is we included the rubberized finish that you have on the Pro B3. This is really good, especially for people who are mobile photographers, which the B series is really made for, being out and about, taking your lights with you. Having the ability to make sure you can get a little bit better grip on your light, especially when you're coming out of the bag or back into the bag, is really nice. So that rubberized finish feels really nice. It has this kind of dotted texture to it, which kind of helps you feel like you really have a good handle on the light. It's a really nice touch to the lights. I remember seeing these when they were showing them to us a few months ago, before everything kind of went into production, and the finish was just dynamite then, and it's even better now. Now let's talk about one of the things that you can kind of clearly see on this B30 that's not on the B20. We have this really dynamite optional handle. I love it. I think it's really great, especially for handling soft boxes. Now, the nice thing is the normal handle ratcheting just here, not a big deal, but once you start getting into like 4-foot octas, 3x4s, 5-foot octas and stuff like that, having this little extra handle to kind of help you adjust the light is really nice. Now, to install the handle, it's really simple. I'm not going to go through the whole install process because you have to have a tool. I'll have a little short video I make for that, for people to reference whenever it's time to install that. But you simply take off the light stand adapter from the bottom. You'll remove these four, they're not hex, they are T T-bits. They're like the little star bits. You'll remove those 4. You'll take the plate off, put the handle in, put the plate back in, and screw those back together. And there you go. You have a handle just like that. Let's talk about now. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask, which is installing a stand adapter on the bottom of a light while continuing to talk. So we've talked about the rubberized finished. We've talked about the handle that allows for movement of heavy modifiers. Let's talk about heavy modifiers. One of the other improvements that we made on the B20 and the B30 over the B10 is we no longer have any issues with weight. So in the past with the B10 and the B10X, the rule was nothing over 4 foot. Like the longest edge on something, 4 foot. So 4 foot octa, 3x4 softbox, 1x4 strip box. The issue was, you know, the housing wasn't made to handle those heavy modifiers because the idea was these things are going to be with you on the move all the time. And most of the time you're not going to want to carry those giant modifiers with you. We were wrong. We learned from that. People do like to take their big modifiers with them sometimes. Or maybe you are I want to say hybrid shooter from the sense of studio and on location. We'll talk about true hybrid shooters here in just a second. But maybe you're more of a studio and location. And in the studio, you do want to rock a 5 foot octa. You do want to rock a 4x6 softbox. These are reinforced now. So the way that the actual housing is constructed, it can handle the weight of any modifier. I didn't do it because it's back behind my backdrop and it's kind of a pain to get to sometimes unless I really want it. But I would confidently put the soft zoom 180 on this thing mounted to the light, not the stand. So it would be in a softbox mode. I could confidently mount that on here and I personally wouldn't have a problem with it. It's a heavy duty light. It can handle really heavy modifiers. So again, the new reinforced housing gives you modifier freedom, which is just dynamite. So again, from the housing, rubberized finished, optional handle, big modifiers, same battery. So that's dynamite there. Let's talk about do we have a question? No. Oh yeah, it sounded like we might have had a question there for a second. Let's talk about the front of the unit. So one of the things that I'm really happy about, and I know a lot of people are really happy about, is the front diffuser plate is now removable. So in the past, the B10 had a fixed diffusion plate. So if something were to happen to the flash tube, whether it just die out over time, maybe you're a heavy user, or maybe you accidentally drop the thing and you break the front glass. Maybe the rest of the housing's fine, but the front glass breaks, maybe the flash tube breaks. That had to come to Profoto, be replaced, and sent back to you. Problem with that is it's a downtime issue. You need your flash, you're a professional, you need your flash, you need to be able to run and gun with it at all times. So back to user changeable flash tubes on this bad boy. So the front diffuser plate is removable. It's replaceable if you were to break it. And the flash tube is also user replaceable. So if something were to happen to the flash tube, a lot of times too, I tell people who are heavy light users, whenever you have a flash, just go ahead and buy a flash tube and have it on standby. It's one of those things that's just always good to have just in case. And now with the B20 and the B30 being able to change the flash tube out yourself, again, I would have one in your bag at all times. I used to, when I was a B1X user, before, the B3s and stuff like that, I had a couple of B1X flash tubes in my bag, or actually in my toolbox all the time. I just gave them to a friend who's still a heavy B1X user. So again, it's good to have at least a backup flash tube just in case. You never know what might happen, and pros are prepared. So think about that. So again, from the housing perspective, really dynamite stuff. Next improvement. Let's go here with this one because there's no handle. And then we'll talk about the insides and what you're going to get out of the performance of the light. So on the bottom of the flash, you'll notice that there's a new port. So on the B10s, B10Xs, there's only one port right here. There's a USB-C port. We use that for firmware updates. This one still has that USB-C port for firmware updates, but now we have included a sync port. When we dropped the B10 and the B10X, people really wanted the sync port. They wanted to have the option to plug directly into the flash if something were to arise, or if they were in a situation, maybe you're using like an old camera that uses a PC sync cable, it doesn't have any type of a shoe, and you want to plug directly into the flash, you now have that option. So you have your sync port down here at the bottom, right next to your USB-C port for firmware updates. So that is a very welcome improvement to the B10X, or not the B10X, over the B10X. Something people have been asking for, we listened, we put it into the B20 and the B30. So you still have walking around the light, the normal stuff that you're used to though with the B10X. You have your umbrella port down here at the bottom. So the B20 and B30 still have your umbrella ports here at the bottom. You have this extra little clasp here for a wrist strap. So if you have somebody kind of running around with the light while you're shooting, you can secure it to a wrist, or you can secure it to a stand in case something were to fall. I don't know why it would, but just in case, that's there. It's really more for handheld use. Still the improved B10X ratcheting handle down here for the knob for actually adjusting the tilt of your flash. Really, really cool stuff. Now, let's talk about the performance of the light. So one of the things we were able to do, we were able to speed the recycling up on this unit by 13%. So now you have the ability to shoot a little bit faster, which is great if you're someone who does a lot of action type stuff and need to capture, multiple flashes for maybe you have a skateboard or something like that doing some sort of trick or jump and you need to actually capture that. You have a little bit faster recycling speed now to get you more flashes per second. Now, you're still going to, just like any flash, your highest power is going to be your lowest recycle speed. So you're not going to be getting multiple frames a second at full power. But the nice thing is, as you keep coming down stop after stop after stop, your burst rates are going to go up really, really high. And if you needed to have super fast speed, but you needed some of that power, you could always pair those with like the OCF Magnum. Get 2 more stops of output on the light, which would allow you to pull that light back a little bit more and speed up your recycle time. What that also would get you is more flashes off your battery, which is really, really nice. So that's something to keep in mind. What essentially I'm saying is you can take, so let's power this bad boy on. You can essentially, at 10, you can pull this thing back to a power level of 8, put the OCF Magnum on there, and it would be like you're shooting with this thing at 10, which is nice. So OCF Magnum dynamite little modifier that goes in the front of this thing, and then you could have some serious speed with the improved recycle times. We also added, just like you've seen on a lot of the new stuff like the Pro D3, the Pro B3, these units now have our new Eco mode inside of it, which is dynamite. What the Eco mode is going to do for you is going to increase the life of your flash by about 4 times. And it does something incredibly simple. It throttles the flash back ever so slightly. So instead of working at 100%, you're working at about 97% capacitor capacity inside this unit. What that does is it just makes the hardware last a lot longer. So you have the Eco mode. It's simply inside the menu. Right here under flash mode, you have Eco, Boost, and Freeze mode. So in the past, you just had normal and freeze mode. So now Eco mode is what the flash will come in when it's rocking and rolling. So when you take it out of the box and use it, you're using this in Eco mode. Again, it's pulled back to about 97%. So let's see, let's bring this up. When you're shooting with this in Eco mode, it's like shooting with the B10X at 9.7, roughly 9.7. What that's going to do, again, throttle things back a little bit to make the components last a little bit longer. If you want those 0.3 stops extra of light, you simply go back into your flash mode, flip it over into boost, and you're rocking and rolling. You have the full output of the light, both B20 and B30. Same thing with the D30, Pro B3, Pro D3. All of those have these modes, and it's just to make your flash last even longer than it already does. Profoto lights are known for the durability that they come with. This Eco mode just adds to that life on your flash. So again, we understand that you're making an investment when you're buying a Profoto light, and we want that light to last as long as possible. I've seen many studios that still run around with, acute 2-packs that are 20, 30 years old. No problems. And we don't even service them anymore. So it's almost impossible to get parts for them. So then we improved the modeling light. So the modeling light now is still bicolor, but you have 50% more brightness out of this bad boy. So powered all the way up, you have your color changing modes. You have the ability to vary your color temperature, so you can go from a nice cool light to a really warm tungsten style light, and really everywhere in between. But 50% more power means that people who are hybrid shooters have a little bit more output now for rolling some video, which is nice. I will say that just like the D30, the B20 and the B30, they, again, same modeling light, so you have that same increase on the D30. If your video has critical audio, so you're doing dialogue or something like that, I still don't necessarily recommend this for that, especially if you're running the modeling light at full power, because it will kick the fan on the light. It is going to have to cool itself off. It just needs to do that. It's going to pull air in from the back. It's going to blow it out through the front to get rid of that heat. I wouldn't use it for critical audio. You're more than welcome to try it for anything that you want. I would just use this for, more B-roll type stuff and things that you can maybe layer some audio on over later. So something to keep in mind. But for those hybrid shooters who maybe need to roll some video of something, maybe some behind the scenes stuff, 50% brighter output, which is really, really nice on the modeling light. So what that's also going to do for you in the studio with the brighter modeling light, you're going to be able to see things a little bit more. You're going to be able to kind of understand how the light's falling on your subject. For portraits, it's going to be really, really good in certain locations because you can get the pupil to close down a little bit more, which feels a little more natural on the lights. One of the things that can be a little bit tough is if you're in a dark area and you don't have something that kind of help close down those pupils. People's pupils get a little bit dilated. It's a little weird looking, at least to me. Unless maybe that's the look that you're going for. Again, all subjective, but yeah, really cool stuff. Do we have any questions from anybody?
No.
I had a feeling I probably wouldn't have too many questions because it's a pretty straightforward light. Really, really nice improvements. Again, a lot of the stuff is physical. So optional handle, which is dynamite. You have the continue using your additional B10 batteries, which is, again, also really, really awesome. Rubberized finish on the outside for better grip, better handling. Like that a lot. You have user changeable flash tubes, which is great. So if something were to happen, you can maintain your own light in that manner, which is really, really great for downtime. You also have the 50% brighter modeling light, which is going to give you the ability to roll some video, use the modeling light in, maybe you want to use the modeling light itself just for the stills portion of what you're doing. So something really, really cool to keep in mind. On the sides of the unit, you still have your same 7 zoom positions. The one thing that you will notice on the B20 is that it is a little bit bigger. So normally in the past, let me grab a B10. Yeah, I have it right over here. Just kind of show you the size comparison. The B20 did increase in size a little bit. So I want to make sure that you see that. It is a little bit bigger of a light. That is due to the housing being able to handle more weight. So it's got a little bit bigger as far as the flash goes. Let's make sure we have that lined up right there. There we go. So you can kind of see the size difference between the two. B10, kind of pull this up right here. I'm just trying to kind of keep them in line so one doesn't look smaller because it's further back. So B10X here on the top, B20, so both 250 watt seconds. B20 is a little bit bigger. I do believe that the Plus is also a little bit bigger. Let me grab that. I don't have my B10X Plus out.
It says we need a USB-C power delivery from a power bank or a mount.
USB-C power delivery. Yeah, I mean, possibly. I don't know if the circuitry is made for charging the unit, but it's definitely something I'll tell our R&D people that you're looking for. If it's something that can be solved, maybe we can solve it. So size-wise on the B10X Plus, also a little bit bigger. Honestly, not. I think the difference between the B10X and the B20 is a little bit more different, or is a little bit bigger than the B10 and the B30, or the B10 Plus, I'm sorry, and the B30. It is a little bit bigger. Again, the housing, being able to kind of build that reinforced housing makes a difference, but it's not terribly bad. Again, the idea was to keep these roughly the size and shapes of camera lens. So again, really, really easy to keep in your bag. Speaking of bags, let's talk about that. So the B20 and the B30, if you buy the single unit, Oh, by the way, with the battery being the same, the charger is also still the same. So keep that in mind. You have the ability to also still shoot and charge at the same time with your B20s and B30s. So because a little bit increase in size of the units and the optional handle, we have this really nice bag. So whenever you buy a single unit, it comes in this, it's got some nice size to it. You'll be able to store some stuff inside of it. You also have these kind of pads that you can use to, to cradle the lights. However you might need, if you have the handle installed or if you don't. Then you have like extra space here, maybe for some batteries, chargers, stuff like that. It's a really nice little case. On the front of it, you have a little slot right here that you can put a card in, so you could identify your stuff and whatnot. It's a really good handle right here, so it's easy to kind of carry with you. Really cool stuff. The backpack has gotten a little bit of an update. So this is the original B10 backpack, the core backpack. One of the things that this has been mine for years. I've traveled all over with it. It is very dirty, as it should be, because I use the heck out of it. But one of the things that this front can do over time is it can kind of collect a lot of dirt. We have animals here, so I've got hair from my Boston Terrier and Pit Bull all over this thing, and it can get a little bit messy. One of the nice things that we did, the backpack is the exact same for the most part, but we have this new finish on the front. And I do believe that the D30 Duo kit comes in the same backpack. So this backpack's been out for about a month, but it's a much smoother finish. It looks really, really nice. I just got finished traveling with it for vacation for a week, and the finish has held up really, really nicely. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Before the live, I actually took a damp washcloth and I wiped the whole thing off because this was going in and out from underneath a plane seat, and it cleaned up really, really nice. So again, I've been using this backpack for a few months. Apparently my hands there's still some.
He's incredibly hard on his stuff.
I'm very hard on my stuff. I beat the crap out of my stuff. I really, really do. I really do. And so just so it would look a little presentable and I could show you how cleanable it was, I probably should have just cleaned it on the screen. Whatever. But I wiped it down. I wiped it down before we went live, and it looks really, really. I mean, you can see there's all the water that I used to clean this bad boy up. So I do like the finish on the backpack more. It's the cleanability is really, really dynamite. So we talked about the new bags. We talked about the light. We compared sizes. Let's also compare the size with the Pro B3, so you can see all three of our. I can even show it to you with the A2, so you can really see all of our battery-powered mono lights together to get an idea of size. So let's grab that, and then, wouldn't you know it, I strategically staged a B3 over here. But what I didn't do was strategically stage my backpacks in a way that I didn't have to walk all the way around. So let's show you all three of these together. We'll probably have to, oh no, you can see them all.
We're good. Mm-hmm.
So B3, B20, and B30.
You can see they're
mostly in line. Yeah, the stands aren't necessarily made for comparing three light sizes side by side. So it's rough, but you get the idea, and then here's an A2.
The light modifier in the center, or I mean the light in the center is farthest back.
Yes, exactly. Cool.
Just so you can.
So, and then here, I'll hold this bad boy up so you can see. So this is our battery-powered mono light lineup, which is really nice. The A2, again, just the most portable thing on the whole dang planet. Love this little guy. The B20, not too terribly much. I mean, what is about? It's a little more than half the size of the B20. So still a really nice size light if you need that extra jump to 250 watt seconds. Then you have your 500 watt second option. And then if you need a little more juice, you have your 750 watt second option with the Pro B3. So a really, really good mono light lineup. Here you go. You can see all of them together now. They all, again, have the kind of this rubberized finish, real easy to handle. A2's got it. Now the B20 and B30, as well as the Pro B3. I don't know.
The A2 is quite cute.
Yes, the A2 is.
Comparatively, yes, it is.
Yes, the A2 is adorable.
It is adorable.
But again, you can very much see the size difference. One of the things that you're going to see about the B3 too, or the B3 as well, is it's just a bigger housing altogether. The battery is larger to be able to give you the amount of flashes for the increased power output, but this also has some components inside of it that are really made to just absolutely be pummeled. And that's what you're going to expect that size from, is just heavier duty modifiers, or heavier duty components.
Okay, so let's see. Will there ever be a Fresnel that is similar in size of the A2 for the B series?
I have just recently been sending lots of requests for it to R&D. I was thinking about it about a month ago, and I was like, it's kind of crazy that we don't have an OCF to click on Fresnel. So keep sending me stuff like that so I can send that stuff up to them, because I do think it's as cool. I love the Fresnel Small. I love the Pro Fresnel Spot, but having something like the Click Fresnel that just packs up super easy is a no-brainer. So even if we were making it and we hadn't announced it, I couldn't tell you, but I can tell you that I have been beating that drum here recently as well, because
and thank you for these suggestions.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know.
Dude, anytime. Just like the USB-C power delivery request, I send all this stuff up. I talk to R&D all the time. I let them know what you guys are looking for. A lot of the stuff that you see inside the Pro B, or inside the B20, the B30, and the Pro B, really all of our new lights, is from direct feedback from photographers. Again, we had this idea and concept of what we wanted the B10 and B10X to be. I think we did a good job with it. And what we did was we launched it, we learned from it, and we evolved. And I think that's exactly what these lights are. They're the evolution of all the things that photographers were like, hey, B10's great, would love this, would love that, would love to be able to use heavier modifiers, want a little bit more light output from it. Please keep the same battery, sync port, all that good stuff. And a really, really nice light. So
let's see. I'll take a few of those B20s.
The B20 is great, man. I mean, like I said, a little bit increase in size, not a deal breaker. It's having the heavier duty housing to hold these big modifiers is nice. It's really nice.
And then, so Jen is asking, can you turn on the modeling light and compare the B10?
Sure.
Love to.
Here's what we'll do. We'll use a B20 and a B10. And I will turn off the studio light, and we can just run those here. Let's make sure we're even. Grab a B10X. Sorry, the B10X actually has a brighter modeling light than the B10. So if you're a B10 user, I will say this: if you're not an X user, you're just a straight up B10 user, modeling light's significantly brighter. It is significantly brighter. The B10X actually got a modeling light increase as well when we launched that bad boy. So something to keep in mind: if you're an original B10, not X, B10 user, big increase in light output. One of the things I like, can you go to the tight shot real fast so I can show this?
Yeah, we might.
I'm gonna scooch this one in a little bit. One of the things I like about the new B10s is I like the power up and power down sequence. So normally in the past you would just hold this light down and you weren't sure what was happening. On our battery powered units, we have this thing where you have to hold down the power button. It's a safety mechanism. It's there to ensure that you don't accidentally turn your light on when you throw it in your bag and don't realize it, and then you get to a shoot and it's dead. So you'll notice that with all of our power, from the B1X, everything, you have to hold the power button down for a second for it to power on. I really like that you have a visual sequence on the B20 now to let you know, B20 and B30, to let you know that the light is powering up and powering down. So you know that when you're holding that button down, something's happening, which is great. I need a
It's a little out of focus because you're not in the same plane.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, you can.
Yeah, just making sure.
Here, we'll do this. Come to this light here on the side, or this camera here on the side.
It's on a weird setting, so it's gonna. I don't know. Let's see if this works. We might have to pull it back to the side.
Yeah, they can kind of see it.
Okay.
Oh, you know what it's in? It's in camera mode. It's not in. That's fine. We'll just show it like this. It's in camera mode and not video mode, guys. I was teaching my daughter how to use a camera, and so it's in camera mode. So see that little sequence? Really, really nice. Man, that refresh rate is hilarious. But the little power up and power down sequence is dynamite. Cool. We can go back here.
Does Profoto offer a trade-up program?
We do not offer a trade-up program, but you could check with a lot of dealers have programs where they'll buy gear from you, and you can use, you know, probably the money that they give you for buying your gear to purchase the light. So
your local dealer.
yeah, we don't ourselves have one, but that doesn't mean a dealer's not going to have that option. So yeah, check with your local dealer.
Absolutely.
Really good stuff.
And if I missed your question, pop it back in again.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them popping in here. So let's see. Philip, how many of the how many of the B20 30 upgrades can be used with the B10 series? That handle looks really easy to adapt.
Yes, so the handle cannot be used with it. So the look here, let's do this. Let's do this for funsies. Don't flip this yet. I'm gonna fix this camera really fast. 1 second. It's all good. I'm just gonna get this.
What's up? Let's see. Joel is saying, "Hey, Chris."
There we go. I think we're in video mode now. Yeah, we're good there. So I'm gonna just show you quickly. I don't have a ton of light over here to let you see, but I'm gonna let you see how the bottom mount works. I'm gonna just take this B30. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. And then a B10 here, so you can see the base plate. So this is what changed to allow the new handle to work. So let's go here to the side camera. We're ready to rock. So here, we can kind of turn it this way. So see this base plate? It's built into the light. It's not removable. There's no way to sink the handle into the unit. So on here's the 30. So you can see that there's these 4 T screws, the little star bits. There's 4 of them here, and what that does is this base plate that's inside the handle right here is sunk into the handle. So that base plate is actually inside of your light. Here, stay right there 1 more second. I got another B20 right here. Also, I always tell you guys that I hide stuff inside the geared ups. Did you just see me take this off the wall? Yeah.
Well, now you've yeah.
I don't care. I tell you all the time that if I have something new, it's probably out really hidden. I want you to try to find it. Message me if you ever see it. But if I have the ability to do it, it's fun. So, okay, cool. So you can see now the base plate, see how it's sunk into the flash head? That base plate is inside this new frame that can hold the super heavy weights from bigger modifiers. So, not super heavy, but the heavier weights from modifiers. You can't remove this base piece on a B10. So you're not gonna be able to get that handle in there because that handle sinks in there and then you screw that base piece back into it. So hopefully that makes sense. Unfortunately, I was hoping when they showed us the handle back in Sweden a few months ago that it was gonna be reversible, and then they showed us how it mounted again to handle those heavier modifiers, and it just doesn't work. So as far as the upgrades you can take advantage of, none really. It is a new light as far as the actual build of the unit.
Okay, let me see what
we got to show modeling light.
Sorry, I'm ahead of myself.
You put questions in the queue. I'm going to show this modeling light. Let's see how it looks. We're gonna go dark mode for a second. Dark, perfect. So this is the B10X right here. Let's make sure we're powered all the way up. Not bad, right? It's got some good juice. Let's just for the funsies, so we can make sure we're doing a perfect comparison. That's in total daylight mode. Now let's see it with the 20. Oh, I'm not powered all the way up. Here, let's do this. Go to cold, power all the way up. Let's go here.
Can you move to the side?
Well, stay on the wide shot so they can see it change.
Okay.
I don't need them to actually see the back of the light. So that's the B10. That's the B20. And this transition that I'll do, you'll see the difference in the output. Ready? See a little bit, see that 50% dimness? The cool thing about the B20s and B30s is they have that, same thing with the D30. I do actually like the fade up on the light. It's gonna, again, one of the many things that we did to make the lights last longer. So something, nice little touch, but here we go. You saw the dimness change. So that was me switching from the B20 to the B10X. So you could actually see the light output there. So very cool. More questions?
Okay, so Peter is just pointing out that for those of you that are wondering, they are a bit larger than the B10X and the B
Yes.
Plus, but the B10X line batteries are comparable.
Exactly. Yep. That's when we did that little lineup that we just did, where we showed. Oh, of course, I'm turning the lights on. Yeah, and so here, we can go on the tight shot here, and you can see that as well. This is the B20 and the B30. So you can, or sorry, this is the B10 and the B20. This is not, so you can see a little bit bigger on the size. Let's take this off again. So you see, they are a bigger body. The chassis has a new design on the inside so they can handle the weight of stuff. But yeah, not terribly big, but a little bit bigger. So that is one thing that you are going to have to think about.
Let's see, Carlos says, recently got a B10X and definitely want the B20 now. Sync port edition is awesome.
Is that my man, Carlos Vincent?
I don't know. It just says Carlos.
Carlos Vincent, if that's you.
Let us know.
What's up, my boy? I'm trying to think. Anything else? So we talked about modeling light. We showed it. We've talked about the new bags, which is great. We talked about the improvements. We talked about the size. I'm trying to think if we've missed anything. Again, a lot of the stuff is going to be physically different about the B20 and the B30. And then on the insides, it's got a couple of things. So just again, to touch on the inside things, 13% faster recycle speed, 15% or 50% increase output on the modeling light. So again, hybrid shooter can roll some video. You have a little bit more output to work with. Again, same thing works with the OCF Magnum. If you want some more light output, you can put the OCF Magnum on that continuous light and you're gonna get even more output, which is nice. So again, increase recycle speed, increase modeling light output, eco mode. Again, just to kind of reiterate quickly what eco mode does, it's going to increase the life of your flash by about 4 times. The actual components on the inside of it by about 4 times. It throttles back your light by about 3%. So you're still plenty of juice to do whatever it is that you need to do. But by pulling that electricity back a little bit, it's going to give you some more output, it's going to give you some more life on the components. If you want that 3% output, you want the full capacity of what your light can do, go into flash mode, flip that bad boy over to boost, and you're using every bit of the light or the energy of the capacitors to go out of the flash tube and light up whatever it is that you need. You have all those options. And then if you need super fast flash durations, I do believe there's a flash duration increase on these as well. I don't know those numbers off the top of my head because I can only remember so many numbers. But you can go, you can throw in that same mode, you can go into freeze mode and you can actually stop a lot of action. One thing again that I always try to make sure everybody remembers when you go into freeze mode will take your light and shift it cooler. That's because when it truncates the flash pulse, it knocks off all the rest of this flash, the wave of the flash, and these are your warmer tones. So it will shift cold. If you are using multiple lights together and one of them looks a little cooler than the other one, check it, make sure it's not in freeze mode. A lot of times that's what it is. So
okay, hold on. Out of curiosity, is the front rondel removable if we want to shoot with the front flash tube exposed in a studio?
Yes, that is another one of the improvements of the unit. So the front diffusion plate, here, let me take it off just so we can prove it live. We're gonna prove it live and I'm gonna drop this flash plate.
Also, as well as the black piece of metal around the...
No, you're not going to, this ring here in the front, this is a recessed flash head. There's no way to make the light tube itself be exposed for using like a hard box or something like that, or trying to throw the light. Trying to throw the light a little bit more 180. The new clasp on this thing are really tight, which is good, but there we go. Front diffuser plate's removed. There is your flash tube. So you can shoot it with the flash tube exposed this way, but this ring piece here at the front does not come off. It is, yeah. This little round portion right here, that's baked into the actual housing of the unit itself. I mean, it definitely has a seam, but my guess is the only way to remove that seam is to actually take the entire light apart, which we tell you never to do because capacitors can kill you. They hold a lot of energy.
Let's see. Hey, I was wondering how new B20 fits in the camera bag like the B10X, or the B10X was, wait, sorry, I'm reading.
Nope, you're fine.
Like, let's see. The B10X was great as it could be stored along with the lenses too.
Yeah, so again, the light's a little bit longer. The B20 has the ability to go sideways in the bag or vertical in the bag. The B30, I believe, and I'll pull it down here and show you in just a second, I believe stores vertically, so it makes it takes up a little bit more space in the bag. And if you're a big fan of the handle also takes up more space in the bag. So it's just something that you have to factor in. It may be one of those things where you might have to go to a different travel case for it if you are a 30, if you want a 30 and you want the handle and all that stuff like that. One of the other things that having the removable flash tube allows for you to do is to put the dome attachment that we've had for the B1X and the D series and stuff forever. So even though this truly doesn't get the flash tube here into the dome itself, the opaqueness of the glass does actually gather some light and throw it a little wider, which is nice. So if you're going to use the traditional beauty dish, the metal one, even though it doesn't do a perfect job with it, it does a pretty darn good job of it, and use this dome with it with a traditional. With the new beauty dishes, with the new collapsible ones, they're made for the flat front. The convex dish inside of it, the deflector plate, is made to take that light and kind of bounce it all over. So.
Okay, will the B10X and B10X Plus continue to be produced?
No, they should, as of yesterday, when they were, when these were announced yesterday, I'm not 100% sure, but usually whenever we have the replacement for something come out, that day we tell all the dealers that they're in discontinue mode. So the B10 and B10X, or the B10X and B10X Plus will be discontinued.
Let's see.
Sorry, I'm grabbing this so I can show the inside of the bag.
B20 in eco mode or boost?
The B20, both of my lights are in eco mode. So when you purchase the flash straight out of the box, it will be in eco mode. All the new stuff, D3, D30, B3, now the B20 and the B30, all of those lights have eco mode, and they all come in eco mode out of the box. And again, it's just for, most people are going to use it in eco mode. Most people don't need it in boost. But if you need it, we gave you the boost option, but the eco mode is going to make the light last a lot longer. So let's show you kind of placement in this bag. I'm just going to kind of hold it up in the air and show you what you can do. So here, let's flip this back. Let's try not to drop the light while we're doing this.
We might have to get you back in focus.
It's fine. I'll step forward. I'll step forward. Yeah, I'll step forward.
I'm sure our friends want to see.
Cool.
There we go.
Bag.
Aha.
So mine's kind of set up for the way that I travel. You can do the 30 sideways, which is nice. So you could do 230 sideways if you needed to. The handle is going to take up some space, so you'll probably have to pivot it, which is going to take up more space. So you'll probably have to.
Remove it.
You can remove the handle, but it's one of those things that you have to keep tools with you, and you're going to have to remove the plate, take the handle off, resync the plate, screw it back down. So if you're running and gunning, not easy. What you could probably do, here I'll do it with the D30 real fast so I can show you with the D30, because that's the only other thing I have a handle on it. And subsequently it's the same size as the B30, so this might make some sense. So what you could do in your bag, in theory it's not going to work. Now that I see what I'm doing. So in theory you could put them in a bag like this, but that's going to be too big for the core backpack. So you might need to go with maybe like a little bit bigger of a backpack, but you could put 230s in like that. If you have no handle on it, here, So many lights in my hands. If you have no handle on it, it's much easier to do that, to put 2 in side by side. And then if you need, you could always go, I believe that when you purchase it in the dual kit, they come like this in the bag. So you can kind of actually see what you're working with there. And if you go vertical, then you could kind of do that staggered setup, but it's not gonna leave a ton of space up here at the top. So.
Okay, so let's see here. Will there be a larger battery ever?
We talked about
twice the power to get at least 1.5 or 2 hours of continuous
power? So we've, it's something that I have been asking for, from a couple different perspectives and a couple different lights. It is something that I've been asking for Fresnel, asking for bigger batteries, especially for people who do events and they just want to stuff the lights in corners and they don't want to think about it. I'm pushing for it. If you keep requesting it, keep pushing for it, it's something that's more likely to come to fruition. Honestly, it's a demand and supply thing. So if you demand it enough, it's the same. I say this all the time. We didn't have a Leica remote forever. And I honestly never saw it coming, ever. But the people just kept asking and asking and asking and asking. So when we dropped the Connect Pro, there was a Leica variation. So, keep sending me the request, keep sending the request to Profoto. I don't know. We used to have a web page that you could go to and type in requests. I don't know if we still have that. If we do, I'll hunt it down and I'll put it into the comments section later so you can always come back and reference it. So yeah.
Yeah.
But keep requesting it because I'll send all this stuff up. So again, big fan of the Fresnel for the OCF2 lineup stuff. Would love to see extended batteries for, you know, rolling more video or for using the continuous light longer while you're shooting. What was the third thing we talked about today? Oh, the USB-C power delivery. Love that idea too. So again, keep requesting it. I'm going to keep sending it up. So
what is the better deal? 2 B20s or 2 B30s or a combination? I have A2s.
A2s?
Did you understand anything I said?
Yeah. Caitlin is currently struggling from a speech impediment of some sort, apparently.
He's coming back from beach life.
Yeah. Yeah. Still in island time.
Yes.
So is it better to buy dual B20s, dual B30s, or a combo coming from an A2? If the A2 has done everything that you need it to do for the most part, but you just want a little bit more light output, I would say that the next logical step is a 20. You're getting a little over double the output. So you have your 100 watts of your A2, you have 250 on your B20. It's going to take me a second to remember to say B20 and not B10. It's funny because, again, I know about these things a little bit in advance, so I have to make sure I don't slip up and say the new thing. But now that the new thing's here, I'm probably going to say the previous version so many times. So again, the next logical step would be go to a 20. If you're looking for a dual kit, if you don't care about the backpack and you want to have, hold on, here's the question I have for you. Who is this again?
This is Peter.
Peter, let me know if you're a studio shooter. Tell me if you're a studio shooter first.
I'm gonna put your handle up.
Yeah, Kayla's gonna put and if we need to talk about this in my DMs on Instagram, DM me and we can chat about it. Here's what I'd say. If the 10s have never, or the A2s have never failed you, see, I just did the 10. If the A2s have never failed you, a B20 Duo kit will probably do everything you could imagine. If you're finding yourself changing the way that you shoot a little bit, and maybe you're doing a little bit more dramatic stuff where you're starting to crush the ambient a little bit more, maybe that's where you think about doing a combination of a 20 and a 30. If you're a studio shooter, here's where I'm going to kind of throw in that little bit of a hitch. If you're a studio shooter and you're like, I'm just looking for some more lights for inside the studio, I would possibly say get a B20 to run and gun with your A2s. They work great together, and then you have a nice little 3-light setup if you need on the run. Get a D30, a Delta 30, a plug-in unit for in studio. That'll give you your 500 watts that you're looking for. It'll give you some faster recycle speeds if you need it. It's a little more affordable from a 500 watt light perspective. Something to think about. Again, I don't know if you need studio or if you're fully on location. So,
let's see. I hope I didn't miss any.
If you feel like we missed your question, just copy it, paste it back in there one more time.
Yeah, sorry. I'm reading as fast as I can.
We'll be here for a few more minutes to make sure that we answer all your questions. Again, launches are exciting. There's a lot of questions.
So exciting. Okay, so a user request from someone who has multiple B10 and B10X units. Could we add a way to sync the color temperature when using the LED or multiple units, or add a color temperature number? There were some people talking in the Profoto user group yesterday, and I saw this request, and that's another one of those things that I'm sending up. I would also love to see personally. It'd be really, really cool if there was just like a ultra. You could go into the unit. So I understand kind of the way that we do things is to make stuff simple, so you don't have to dive into user manuals. The whole idea of the way that we make lights is to make sure that you can take it out of a bag, touch a couple buttons, go, oh, that's how it works, and you're off to the races. When there's a lot of things that are laden by technical jargon, it can be a little overwhelming for people who are just really getting into Flash, but they're like, you know what, I want to do Flash, but I'm going to invest in myself. Same thing that people do with cameras. They're like, you know, I want to get into photography. I'm going to invest in myself, and maybe they don't buy the lowest Canon. Maybe they get into like an R6 or something like that, or an R5 too. Maybe they just make the jump and invest. Maybe they do the same thing with Profoto. So we wanted to keep things simple. But I was thinking about this morning. Actually, it'd be nice if there was an extra option in there that you could go into, like advanced, not advanced settings, but like advanced information. And then that way you could see your actual flash duration. Maybe you want to know how many watt seconds you're actually shooting with. Maybe you want to know exactly what you're asking for, is what is my current Kelvin temperature with my light, so that I can sync them up. So again, something that I will send up to headquarters. It's something that, again, I think would be really beneficial, especially because we have some serious power users out there who really want to know what their stuff's doing, and I agree with you 100%. Okay, so does the B20 and B30, its swivel head, support the weight of a Profoto? All Profoto.
It should. You know what? I'm gonna make a bit of a mess. Let's make a bit of a mess for a second.
We're making a bit of a mess. Here we go.
Let's see if I embarrass myself. Let's see if I embarrass myself on screen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to climb up here and retrieve. We're doing this live. I'm gonna try to retrieve this soft zoom.
You don't fall off that block.
There are no guarantees. I could use your assistance.
All right.
We're gonna try this. It's just gonna take me a second to get to this thing. I've got a couple beauty dishes I don't want to drop. There's one right there. Come here, baby. Oh, and a suitcase on top. I'm gonna climb back behind. Here, let's. Oh, that sound was.
You should turn off your mic first.
That sound. Well, I don't want to turn the mic off because then it'll sound like the audio's dead, and then I'll probably definitely forget to turn it back on. So we're just gonna get live. It's live. We're doing this together. I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of bags. This is fun. We're having fun. This is real world stuff. When you're working in a studio setting, and maybe you don't have a lot of room. We don't have a ton of room here. So we have our storage shelves back behind our background, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm getting a soft zoom 180.
I'm smaller than you. I
skipped the 120. And we're going right for the 180. It's a little unwieldy. Give me just a second. It's a little unwieldy. We're going right to the 180.
And we're back.
It's the biggest modifier I've got. Let's see what she does. A lot of noise. Thanks for hanging with. Cool. We're not going to put it on the zoom rod. We're going to go direct mount to the light. And that is thanks to the fact that this thing has speed ring on the end. So let's go with the small guy. Let's go with the 20. What I do need to do is, let's do this as smart as possible with as little damage to things falling over as possible. We're gonna use this light stand that has a D30 on it. It also has a Pro 11 as a counterweight. I just wanna make sure that we don't have light stand fall overage. Perfect, we have our Pro 11 counterweight along with a tiny sandbag.
Those, indeed.
We're doing it live. Was it
Thanks for hanging with us.
was it Bill O'Reilly that yelled, "We'll do it live"? We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
I think he used expletives with his, though.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be doing that one. This is fun. I think he was pissed off. Cool. I didn't think you would talk me into pulling out the Soft Zoom 180.
James says, "Hey, I arrived late. Can we start over?"
James, we're gonna, yeah. At this point, we might as well just stop and restart.
Yeah, good call.
James, ask questions and I'll answer them as I'm putting this thing on. So, Soft Zoom 180, it's a 6 foot, essentially a 6 foot modifier onto a B10. Make sure I'm locked down there. Make sure I'm locked down there. Come on. There we go. I'm gonna let go. I can feel the weight moving forward on the light stand adapter. That's cool. Let's click.
You got the dome front?
Yes, this has the dome front on it.
Okay, just curious.
So I'm not gonna lie. This makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous too. Anybody else a little nervous right now? Here, I'm gonna go to the. Here.
I don't love this.
Are we gonna dump a dome?
I'm not.
On live?
I'm not worried about dumping a dome. I'm worried about this might actually being heavier than I was expecting. Now, the one thing about the D3 that I love is that the stand adapter, there we go. Sometimes it takes a second to make sure.
That's the biggest.
It's a big modifier. It's honestly, it's too big to use inside the studio. That's why you guys don't see us use that often, because I can't really get it up high enough. So we're all the way open. That's a B20 on it. That's the small one.
Hold on, you go to this. Yeah?
Here, for marketing, let's turn this so the Profoto logo's up. Marketing just called. They said fix the logo. That's a B20 on a Soft Zoom 180. I wouldn't do that with the B10 at all, ever. It's a 6 foot modifier. This is probably one of the heaviest things we have, if that helps you kind of understand. That's on a 20. The ratcheting light stand adapter is not creeping down.
Pretty cool.
There's no handle on it. Here, let's, you have to kind of do it with this thing. Let's go up a little bit with that. There you go. It's up a little bit more. Does it freak me out? That much. That much right there. Hold on, go.
Yeah, hold on, hold on.
That's
You
it.
know why that's funny? Because this is our son does this all
Yeah.
the time.
That's how much it freaks me out. I'm a little freaked out, but it's doing it. So like, how can you be mad, right? Obviously made an absolute mess in my studio, but
This could be one of the blooper reels. Yes, Ben, you are right. You could definitely have a blooper reel for this one.
literally everything that we do in here is just a live blooper reel. It's all for fun.
It's true.
Cool. So now before I have a mini heart attack, we're gonna remove this. I'm gonna try not to throw it at Kate.
So Fluffy says, yep. She gives us clappy hands.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We did it.
I appreciate it. We made it.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's a circus. It's a circus. So, it can hold up. So, for James, who just came in, let me tell you what this thing's got really, really fast, other than the ability to hold big modifiers, because you just saw that one firsthand. A quick rundown we're going to do in speed mode. It's the world's fastest light breakdown. New housing holds big modifiers. Rubberized grip, so it's easier to hold the light when you're out and about. You can see that there's a dome on the front of this thing. That means the front glass plate is removable to give you the ability to use the dome accessory and to change the flash tube yourself if something were to happen. Keep an extra flash tube always. You're a professional. You're the professional. Keep an extra flash tube in your studio area or wherever you store your gear and have it there. So again, flash tube is replaceable. Heavy duty build on the light itself. Same size battery as the B10, the exact same battery as the B10. So all your batteries still work. Rubberized housing, reinforced body, optional handle. Hold on.
Here we go.
Optional. Oh, we're going inside. Whoa. Optional handle that you can purchase where you can remove the bottom, put the handle on, put the bottom back on, screw it in, and then put this back, the actual stand adapter portion back on. And now you have a handle that lets you lower and raise the light. I really like the handle.
Our photo camera app supports the B20 and 30.
AirX Profoto camera app.
Yep.
It's with an iPhone. The tough thing about Android is things change too often and cameras are too different to keep up with it. So iPhone with the camera, but with the control, all that stuff is there. So firmware updates over the air, controlling your lights, all of that good stuff. Also on the outside of this unit, like we were talking about, sync port on the bottom now. So we added a sync port back. So for people who like that feature, it's there. Along with your USB-C port for firmware updates if you need to use a computer to update for your firmware or if you need to recover from a failed firmware over the air. Your light's not bricked, you can recover it. Good stuff. So reinforced housing, handle, sync port, rubberized coating, same battery as the B10, user replaceable flash tube, 50% brighter modeling light, so you can roll some more video if you want to with some more output. You also have a 13 or 14% faster recycle speeds, so you're gonna be able to turn over a little bit faster and get to your next shot quicker. So if you're in a situation that's a little more high paced, you can pull that power back a little bit and really burst it out, which is great. Better flash durations, same awesome user interface in eco mode, which is going to extend the life of your flash by 4 times, by up to 4 times. So really good stuff. Anything else?
Lots of hellos. I'm gonna put Chris's handle up one more time. I'll pop you back to the front.
Yeah.
Rosie.
I saw something pop up. Oh, back over here.
Yep.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Hello. My name's Chris.
I'm treating the B10X like it was handling glass work, but I was relieved to see that I could use it with the B20. The hard. I'm gonna pop that up because I can't read apparently.
Again.
Listen. Island time.
Rolling blooper reel.
Yes.
Would you like me to read it?
Can you read? I can't read.
I treated the B10X like I was handling glass work, but I was relieved to see that I could use the B20 hard. Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, kudos to you for being gentle with your B10X. I beat the crap out of my stuff. And I've been fortunate. Now, I have had friends who have shattered the front glass. I've been super fortunate, and I haven't had to deal with that. But I am not easy on my stuff.
He's not gentle with anything.
Nothing. Yeah, not even my kids. I chuck them up in the air. Yeah. Cool. So, hi there.
Hi, welcome back.
Welcome to Chats with Chris. Today we're talking about the B20 and the B30. That being said, that's my Instagram handle right there. It's honestly almost all my social handles, so it's the easiest way to get in touch with me. I would give you my email address, but one, I don't like email, and I would just rather have a normal conversation with people. I feel like DMs are relatively normal, or at least mine are. Some people might not be. So DM me at the Chris Fane. We can chat about your specific situation. If you have requests, again, I'm gonna remember it all. You ready? Here we go. USB-C power delivery. We want a Fresnel for the OCF2. We want, oh no, I've already forgot the third one.
But we got the chat right here. We always go back.
Yeah, so we've got the Fresnel. We did talk about, oh no, I thought I remembered and I don't remember now, so I apologize.
Ooh.
Oh, bigger battery. Yes. Sorry, get the bigger battery. And then the thing that we were talking about on Facebook the other day with the being able to tell your color temperature on the back of the unit as opposed to just a color bar that you're roughly guessing. So yeah, that's it.
Big fun.
It's a great light. It is. It's a little bit bigger, so you are going to give up a little bit of bag space, but I think what you gain is worth it. Having, again, we put a freaking soft zoom 180 on this thing. My heart's still palpitating a little bit, but it's a really, really great light. The simple additions, again, stuff like the rubberized housing and whatnot, is a very welcome part of this new light. So if you're looking, if the way that you shoot, I tell people this all the time too, if the things that we fixed on this light didn't need to be fixed for you with your B10 or B10X, this might not be the light for you. I try not to get people to just upgrade things all the time. At least from my perspective, we sell investment pieces. That doesn't mean that we're not going to improve over time and lights are going to change. But if you find that this unit has a feature in it that you could really use. I mean, me personally, I like big modifiers. Having that is really, really good for me. I like using the dome accessor every once in a while. Having that's really good for me. One of the things that I haven't experimented with yet, but was thinking about this the other day, is the Fresnel Small, for example, has a diffusion plate. Has literally has that inside of it. It has this exact diffusion plate inside of the Fresnel Small. That diffusion plate does take a little bit of your light away. So one of the things I like about this is the fact that I can take that plate off, no dome, but I can take the plate off and get maybe like a little bit more light output out of the Fresnel Small, which is nice. Same thing with the Spot Small. Spot Small has that same diffuser plate on the inside of it. So having the ability to take that off and have a little bit more raw output straight through that single diffuser plate, kind of cool. So I appreciate that. So there's some things in this that I really like. I think the eco mode's nice. Again, as someone who believes in buying one time a good light that can do everything that you need it to do. The eco mode is dynamite to know that, you know, you're gonna get the longevity out of this flash that you're gonna get. I really, really love it. So cool. Any other questions before we peace out? We're gonna take a couple more and then we're gonna leave because we've been here for an hour.
Yeah, more than an hour actually. Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see. Out on the rubberized housing, is the exterior housing all hard rubber? The Profoto page says with a rubberized surface that gives a secure grip.
It's this part. It's this. I don't know that they can see the speckles. There's like this. It's this dotted like a mesh pattern here from.
They probably can from the side cam.
So, and I'll tell you why it's not rubberized to the front. If we were to rubberize this portion, zooming a reflector would be an absolute pain in the tuchus. It would be just too grippy, especially because we use silicone to actually grip the head without damaging it. Silicone on kind of like this rubberized feeling would probably be almost impossible to zoom. And just so you can know what I'm talking about, here, let me just grab this. You can stay right there. I'm just gonna grab this really fast. What I'm talking about is, for people who don't know, these numbers on the side of the lights are a zoom scale, and it's to allow the light to kind of zoom to different positions and utilize the shape in different ways. If that was rubberized up here, this right here would be very difficult. So it's kind of rubberized from the portion where you're gonna be handling it the most. So like, for example, here, you can say there again, I'm just gonna go right back. For example, like throwing on the battery. What's nice is you have the ability to kind of just put your hand here and really hold on to it and clip that into place. Or if you're kind of holding on to it this hand, you don't have to worry about it slipping. Like I'm squeezing it to try to make it slide out of my hands. Like here, I can do that on that portion. But if I pinch here to make it do the same thing, even back here, it's rubberized. Even here to kind of pinch it, you can't. So you can get a hold of it, put your battery on, and you're rocking and rolling. So rubberized from here back, where the modifiers mount, not rubberized again, so you don't you don't get bound up.
Did I misread this question? I know that the Profoto control supports B20, B30, but will the Profoto camera support the
Yes.
B20, B30?
Profoto camera for the iPhone, absolutely yes, will absolutely support it.
Okay.
Yep. Because that's more of a, and just for the record, that's more of a timing code issue with the operating system and the actual phone itself. Once we have those timing codes in place, it's just sending the phone's codes to the light. The light doesn't really care. It just is looking to receive the information of what those timing codes are. And because we have those, it works.
Okay, and then another rubber question. Let's see. I understand that the bumper is made of rubber this time, which reduces the risk of damage if dropped. But if the bumper is damaged, can you replace that part?
This is part of the housing. So it's not necessarily it's not so much a bumper as in like you can smack it against something and it's going to rebound off the unit. It's not like a basketball or something like that. The rubberized housing is more just for, I'm gonna take this off the light stand thinking I'm super cool showing you how like this works, but it's for, just like palming a basketball. It's for just kind of taking it out of your bag and then, football.
Please don't again.
Rubberized grip. It's made for it. Blue 42. Just like that. Do that with a beat. You do that with
We're getting an email.
I'll get an HR email later. Oh, we got a munchkin. But the rubberized housing is just for really gripping the light out of your bag and when you're making adjustments and stuff like that. So it's not made for, again, taking the actual hit itself. If something were to happen and you damage the housing can be replaced. It's, again, that would itself have to come to the service center because that's going to expose those capacitors, which is incredibly dangerous. So if something were to happen to the actual housing itself, that's going to need to come back to us and we'll need to replace that just out of the safety so we can discharge the capacitors and make sure everything's up to snuff. So cool. Anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, that's good.
Millions of questions, and I love every single one of them. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. New lights are always really, really exciting. Caitlin's put my handle up there a whole bunch of times. Throw it back up there one more time until we sign off with this bad boy. That's me at @DChrisFain. Send me any question you have. Instagram is the best place to DM me, but send me any questions that you have. We can chat about whatever you want to talk about. I help people with stuff all the time. I love it. It makes my day. B20, B30, new, awesome lights. Quick little synopsis again right here to the end before I say goodbye. 14% faster recycling speed, 50% brighter modeling light, same battery as all the B10 lights, rubberized housing so it's easier to hold onto, optional handle to give you the ability to adjust the light a lot easier, eco mode to give your flash 4 times the life of a normal flash and really save your components. It is and then the big thing. Big, huge modifiers, right? We did that live, we went crazy, we got funky. You can hold huge modifiers with this thing. It's really made to take the punishment. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your week. Again, if you have any questions, right there, that's me. That's how you get in touch with me. DM me there at @DChrisFain. We can chat, we can have a good time. Have an awesome rest of your week. Peace out, everybody.